When I was a little girl, I had a dream that I'd walk into my hallway and turn to my left. There was the same old closet door. But this time, when I'd open it, there was an entire world that I had never experienced. A wonderland with a waterfall and my entire family looking at me and asking where I'd been this whole time. In college, I had a similar experience, except this time stood a crowd that I didn't recognize. A crowd that bore the pain of systemic racism, economic inequality, immigration policy, and white privilege. I learned about these issues in my classes, shocked that I had never heard anything in my entire life. I ran to my friends and my roommates and my teammates, sharing what I learned in class that day, waiting for a face of recognition. But instead, I saw the same girl that I saw 2 years ago, unaware of what pains others. I looked deeper into how this all started. How did I go so long without knowing? And found that Arizona has banned ethnic studies in K through 12 grades. They banned books like A Dictionary of Latino Civil Rights, Feminism is for Everybody, and Mexican White Boy. What do these books have in common? They are the voices of the minority, voices that are already so marginalized in the news and in history books that are only written by white men for hundreds of years. They've banned books like Civil Disobedience, books that would otherwise teach students that they have a moral responsibility to disobey if a law oppresses them, that they can be leaders and agents of change, but they are robbed from their libraries. Books like Pedagogy of the Oppressed by Paulo Freire, a text that has become a keystone in my studies as a nonprofit leadership and management major. A book that I refer to when I want to learn about proper education and liberating those who are oppressed. So, reflecting on these banned books, I looked at what my career would look like without them. I opened this door and saw what I feared most. I pictured myself with my chest held high, pridefully trying to help communities. Proud of what I was doing, but I was standing so tall and trying to reach so low to help those who are oppressed. Instead, what Paulo Freire would say is to reach down, stand beside them, and walk step by step, listening to their story with empathy. Paulo Freire says the teacher is an artist, and that it is his or her duty to help the student become themselves. But we are preventing them from becoming themselves because we are saying it is not okay for them to become themselves. We are robbing stories that they can relate to. Stories that say they are oppressed and we can change that. When I was young, I was a passionate reader, so much so that my second grade teacher was holding me back because she was scared I was going to get into my mom's romance novels. I often think about what my potential could be if my future was not determined by her fear. And then I look at children, and I wonder what their future would look like if it was not controlled by his fear and her fear and their fear. So let's go back to that door. And instead, let's pretend we find a classroom. A classroom full of people of every different color, of every different story. I hear the noises and the stories. I see banned books everywhere. Because did you know Clutson University revealed that students who read banned books are more civically involved and volunteer more. That comes down to one word: empathy. These students are engaged with how others feel in an everyday life and their struggles. They realize their own humanity and also realize that others are deprived of that. Now, reflecting on my life and reflecting on Natima's story and Dana's story, I realize I am so far from feeling what they feel. But at the same point, I realize I am so much closer than I was. Now, looking at Paulo Freire, he says that no one can authentically be human while he prevents others from doing so. So I implore you to look at every single moment that makes you human. And then look to your left and to your right and open doors and ask people if they enjoy the same benefit. I ask you to fight for others' rights so that no book or door will be ever shut in another's face again. Thank you.